Uh, so yesterday we see how to manage Azure AD, how to create a AD tenant and other things. Okay, I've shared you the notepad for that in the last class only. So those you who have done their exercise, that is fine. Those who have not done, please do it today. Okay. Now there is one other exercise. Now in the last exercise there was task number 5 to clean up the resources that we were seeing, right? That we were seeing. So
Yes, yes.
in that case, what you have to do, first you have to deregister for the license. Deregister for the license. So as we created the Contoso subscription here, just switch to that. Just switch to that subscription. And when you switch to that subscription, go to that Azure Active Directory. Before all of this, you have to delete the users. Okay. Before all of this, you have to delete the users, delink the users first from the licenses, then delete the users, then delete the groups that we have seen yesterday. Okay. So here what you have to do, when you click on licenses, so here is a managed your purchase licenses. Managed your purchase licenses. You have to go there. Hmm. So when you go there, manage self-service subscriptions. When you click on there, you will get that your P2 subscription, that premium P2 subscription. Click on that. Click on that. There will be some options here given here. Okay, I already did that yesterday. So click on here. You will get some options there, and there, what you have to do, click on that your P2 subscription, and you have to deregister for that. You have to deregister for that and delete that Azure subscription, which is created through this Contoso Lab. Okay, so you will get that option here only, where in the licenses section, when you click on the licenses section, you will go to manage your self-service subscription. Click on here, you will get that option. Okay, now it will not, once you click on delete, once you deregister and once you click on delete, it will not get deleted. Like it will not get deleted. It will say that it will delete your subscription after 2 days. Like, you can see this, I have got this email. So when I did that yesterday, your Microsoft Entra ID P2 subscription will be deleted on 9th of September, it is saying. So today is 7th, I did it yesterday on 6th. So it is taking almost 3 days for that request of to delete that license. Okay, and once the license is deleted, then there is option below only there that delete the subscription. So just after deactivating the license, below that there is option of deleting the subscription. Just click that and you will be able to delete this, and it will be showing you, okay. So if you go to the licenses and all, it will still show you until and unless it is deleted on 9th of September. Means till 2 days or 3 days it will show you. After that, they will remove this. So in this way, you can go and delete your that subscription which you created, Contoso subscription. Okay, just try that out. If there is any issue, then let me know. So as of now, it will be it is showing me that yes, there is a subscription. Okay, but it will delete after 9th. the directories.
Directly search. Akshay. Directly you could search in
Pardon?
above search box. Above search box, you can directly search AD, Active Directory. Yes.
So how many classes have been already done? I think I joined today. I think I have to cope up a lot of things.
Pardon?
I was asking, sir, I joined today. How many classes have been done
Okay,
already
you
for
are
this
Imran,
batch?
right? Imran.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. See, as of now, so they have, like, did they share the recordings with you, or like did they told you something, or like class is started or anything like that?
Yeah, they said class is started, but sir will guide you how to cope up. But
Okay.
no recordings are shared with me yet.
Okay, I think they will share it today. So
Okay.
there is Azure Fundamental. For Azure Fundamental, I think 12 classes were there. So almost done. You can go through the recording. So it is all theoretical section. Okay. Azure Fundamental is
Okay.
totally the theoretical section. So you can go through it. Okay. You can
Okay.
go through it, go through recordings.
Okay.
So there were some more students which joined 3-4 days back. Okay. So after the
Okay.
class, what I'm doing, I'm taking 10-15 minutes or 20 minutes of those students to explain them about little some things about the fundamentals. Okay. So then they
Mhm.
can go back and see the recordings. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
today just wait after the class. We'll see.
Okay.
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 So you can go and see the recordings, and later on you can join the lab. So as of now, it is the second lab only. Okay, second lab only which we are doing. So first we did the third lab. There were 4 parts of the lab, and then we are doing the first lab, and this is the second part of the first lab which we will do today. Okay, so
Okay.
these are
Okay.
just the labs. So you can go through the recording. So 7 classes are there as of now for Azure admin. Azure admin. Okay. So
Okay.
just go
So
through them in your free time, and whatever doubts you may be having, you can ask me then. Okay.
okay. So total of 19 classes are already done.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's a lot of.
So just go through it. If you face any difficulty, then let me know.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Why it is not showing our free trial one where it is?
Are we on some other directory or subscription like Contost or something?
Yes, actually, we
You
created
need
a
to
contest
log in, log
subscription
out.
a day before yesterday for that practice for creating the users and the groups. Then what we did, we deleted that subscription. We deleted the users, we deleted the groups, we deleted the subscription. For that purpose, we get an email. Okay, we get an email.
Right.
Okay, this will be deleted on I submitted the request on September 6th and it will be disabled and deleted by September 9th. Okay, that was a Contoso one. Now, as of now, we have a free trial 1 year. As of now, we have a free trial 1 year. Okay, if I go subscriptions.
So can we use that free trial one in two directory? Is it?
Pardon?
Can we use this free trial subscription in two directories as well? Is it? Two active directory or what is this Contoso? What is this? Is active directory, right?
Yes, you can activate. You have to activate that subscription. You have to
Okay,
activate that subscription. Okay.
got it.
So in every tenant, you can go and activate a free trial. Let me sign out.
Yes, Arvind, you need to log out here.
So this is our free trial subscription. Okay. Now let's see that lab. Now today we'll be managing the subscriptions management group and RBAC roles. RBAC means role-based access control. So if I talk about RBAC, role-based access control means there are different roles which are defined in Azure. Some roles are built-in roles, which are already defined by Azure. Some roles are custom roles. Custom roles are created by us. We can create custom roles. Built-in roles already in Azure. What are these built-in roles? Built-in roles will give you like reader, then contributor, then owner, then VM contributor. Okay, these are all roles, role-based. Now, role-based access control means on the basis of role. So if I have given some user a VM contributor role in some resource group, then inside that resource group, inside that I've given this. Now, when I give any role, it is always based on some scope. That scope can be a resource, Resource means that particular service, or that can be a resource group. That can be a resource or a resource group. So whenever you give any role, it will always be based on some scope, and scope means resource or resource group. Resource means any kind of service. So say most of the times you give roles to the users on the scope like resource group only. Okay, so if there is some resource group, say this is a resource group, this is a resource group, then someone from some team or dev team or any team will connect to the DevOps team or the admin team, and they will ask for the, say they will ask, okay, let give them, or not, they will not ask, their manager will ask, okay, these are the candidates, give them a VM contributor role in this scope. Scope means resource group. So you'll go to that particular resource group, and you will add the role. You will add the role. What kind of role? Like they have asked for VM contributor, so just give them a VM contributor role on this resource group and add the users. What number of users they are asking to give that role. So this is called role-based access control. Okay, this is called role-based access control. So we have seen here, when we go to the Azure Active Directory, so roles and administrator, if I go to roles and administrator, see, you are seeing the roles. Okay, my role is global administrator. Okay, my role is global administrator because I am the owner of this tenant and I'm managing it. Okay, I can delete any subscription, I can create any subscription, I can create a management group, I can do everything because I'm a global administrator. Now you can see different roles are here. Application administrator, many types of billing administrator. Now, I told you yesterday that billing administrator is a separate role. No one, if I make an owner, so there is any subscription, there are two subscriptions. So this is one subscription, this is another subscription. Now I created this subscription for some environment, say dev subscription. This is stage subscription. Then there is a different owner for this. Say owner is 1, user 1. Here owner is user 2. Above these subscription, there is a management group, right? And there is a owner of the management group. Owner. Mostly who will be the owner? A global administrator, right? Global admin. Now, if this global admin wants, it can give some user the role of a billing administrator. So if this owner of this subscription 1, there is a owner, subscription 2, there is a owner. These owners, even if they have the owner role, then also they cannot see the billing, because billing service is something which is on the management group level, That's why the role of the billing administrator is different. See, billing administrator. So billing administrator can perform billing related tasks like update payment information. Okay, so why this role has been made separate? Because if this has been included in the owner role, everyone can go and update the payment information or anything in the billing section, right? So that's why this role has been kept separated on the management level. Okay, so whosoever, even I have access to 12 subscriptions. I'm the owner of 12 subscription in my organization. Okay, in Azure portal. But then also I don't have a billing administrator role, because that is a different team. Who has the access to the billing administrator. That is the account team and all. Okay, they are managing this. So that's why they do not give this role. So similarly, there are different roles. Directory
This is-
readers. Pardon?
This is more like IAM roles in AWS.
Yes, similar to that. Okay, so directory readers, directory writers. Okay, so what we were doing in the directory, we are creating a directory, we were creating a new directory, we were writing the directory, we were adding the users, everything. So So you can see privileged roles. What are the privileged roles? You can see that cloud application administrator is a privileged role. Cloud device administrator is a privileged role. Conditional access administrator is a privileged role. Directory writer is a privileged role because you can do anything in the directory. Okay. So these all are built-in type. These all are built-in type. These all are, if you see here, they are all built-in roles.
So Abhishek, I have one question here.
Mhm.
If we create a one management group,
Mhm.
so inside a management group, we can create like HR department and IT department and
Yes,
account
you can
department.
create different management groups there. So
Yeah,
yeah, so that's what we had here in this lab. That's what we had here in this lab. Implement management group. So first task would be implementing a management group. So we'll be implementing a management group. Then we will be creating the custom RBAC roles in the management group, and then we will be assigning the RBAC roles to the users. We'll create a users and we will assign the RBAC group. That is what in this lab.
okay. So we can create a separate management group for
Yes,
each
yes.
department. Yeah.
Yes. You can create a management group for each department. But as of now, here you can see again, last what we did, we get a P2 license for Contoso one, right? So that we can create everything there. But here in the default one, I didn't do that. Okay. I asked you guys to do it in default directory so that you get a P2 license for a default directory. Now here,
Yeah.
see, the custom role is grayed out here. I cannot delete custom role. I cannot create custom role. Why I
Create.
cannot create? Because I don't have a P2 license for this.
Yes.
I don't have a P1 or a P2 license
li-
for this directory. So for creating groups, for creating custom roles, there are many things like that for which you will need a P2 license for that. You will need a P2 license for that.
P2 license.
Okay. So as of now, if I go to the user, just see in the properties, if for P2 license, we have to change the region in the settings as United States. Okay. So I already did that. Okay. So in default directory also, you have to follow the same process which we did in last lab. Okay. So from the first, you have to in the settings, you have to change the usage location as United States for P2 license, and then go back and go back to user settings. Okay. You can see the settings here. What are the settings you have? So as of now, all the settings are intact. Like user can register applications, user can create security groups. I told you that restrict non-admin users from creating tenants. Non-admin means member users, right? Members.
Yes.
So
Yes. Remember.
yes, we can restrict the members from creating tenants. Okay. Then for the guest users, we have said this. So guest users have the same access as members? No, we cannot select this because who are the guest users? Non-organizational users, who are our vendors, right? Those are guest users. I told you about that scenario, like how we invite the guest users. Okay. So guest users has limited access to properties and membership of the directory objects. Allow users to connect their work or school account? Yes. Okay. Yes. Then only they will be able to log in to this portal. So if I created a user and I want to, I want to give that, I'll be giving that credentials to that particular user so he or she can log in. Okay. If I not allow this, if I do it a no, okay, they cannot connect with the account. So that's why it's always yes. Okay. External users manage external collaboration. Which type of collaboration? B2B collaboration, like business to business. Business to business, how? Like we are an organization, we have this default directory, then there is some other organization, some small organization, they are coming and asking us to create any application for them. Okay, so that is a kind of B2B collaboration. So we'll be creating a cloud application for them, and then we'll be inviting those vendors to access those cloud applications. Okay, so that will be a B2B collaboration, and we'll be managing those users in the B2B collaboration. Okay, so those are called external users. Like when you create any account in Facebook or LinkedIn or anywhere, so when you go to the first page, like sign up, so they ask you, you are an external user for them. Okay, so they will let you sign in through any ID, through any identity provider. So basically identity providers, I told you those, like Gmail is an identity provider. It is providing you an ID, right? Identity provider. So it will give you an ID. Then Facebook is a social identity provider. Okay. Then apart from them, there are many. Yahoo. Okay. So these are all nothing but the identity providers. So when you create an identity of yourself here with these identity providers, then some of the website will allow you. So when you go to any website, then they have different options to sign up. So if you sign up there, they will give you options. Okay, whether you have to come through Facebook, whether you have to come through Gmail, whether you have to sign up through Yahoo, or like whatever the this in the user flow. So there is a user flow in behind this sign up. So there is a life cycle. There is a whole life cycle behind sign in. When you see a sign in button, behind sign up, when you see a sign up button, then there is a password reset button, password reset, sign in, sign up, password reset. What else button you see there when you sign up or do anything in a website where the login is required? Sign in, sign up, password reset. Do you see any other button there?
No, mostly
Uh,
these buttons are common.
These buttons only, right?
Forget
So
forget
pardon?
password, yeah, password reset. Forget
Okay.
password or
Yeah, it's one and the same thing. It's one and the same
yeah.
thing. Either a password reset, either a forget password, right? Forget password.
Yes.
So there is a whole life cycle behind these things. There is a whole life cycle. What is the life cycle? That life cycle is called a user flow. We call it a user flow. Okay. So when we create any application, then definitely for that application, you have to define a user flow. And user flow can be of number of types of user flow. It can be a sign in user flow. Sign in, simply you just come and sign in. There will be no option for sign up. You already have an account, you already are added to my Active Directory, you just come and sign in. That is the sign in user flow. Very simple. Now you can choose other type of user flow which is called sign in and sign up. Sign in and sign up. Okay, so if you choose other type of, then you can sign in also, and you are new user, then you can sign up also. And when I am assigning this user flow sign up, I'll set a number of attributes here. Attributes. What kind of attributes? Whether whenever some person comes to sign up, he can sign up through any ID or she can sign up through any ID. Okay, so I'll add number of IDs here in the attributes. Okay, that person can come from Gmail. So I'll add identity provider there as Gmail. So in the attributes, I can set the identity provider, say Gmail or Facebook. Okay, or any other third. There are many list of many identity providers available there in the attributes. Okay, then what you will be needing in the attributes? Name. So that person should give a name. Okay. Then that person should give a second name or the last name. Last name. That is the attribute I'll be requiring. First name and the last name. Third attribute, you can set it by yourself. If you want, that person should give its country. Okay. So it will provide country with the country code. Okay. With the country code. Country code. Okay. So there will be a list of all the countries and all. Okay. So you can track that down. So when a user sign up, there are different attributes you can ask from the user. So you have seen when you have signed up somewhere in any website, sign up, then when you just click on sign up, there are different boxes which appear. First name, last name, somewhere middle name also. But somewhere they make it mandatory, somewhere they don't make it mandatory. Okay. So first name, last name, then place of birth is also an attribute which they can ask. Okay. Mostly in government websites. So when you fill some form in government websites, they ask all these things. These are nothing but the attributes which they set up while creating this user flow in that particular website. Okay. Then place of birth, then country, place, address, phone number, email. These are nothing but just the attributes. So when you see any sign up, sign in button, then there is a whole lot of user flow which is involved like behind that. Okay. And that user flow you can see here in the when you create the apps. When you create the apps. App means I told you that is app registration. That is app registration. So when you create some cloud app, when you create some cloud application, then you have to set the user flow for that. Okay. So as of now, there are no application. So it will show no application. You can create a new registration here. You can always create a new registration. You can give your redirect URL. Okay. Accounts in the organizational directory. Who can access this? Who can access this? Any tenant from the Entra ID can access this. Means multi-tenant users can access this. So if you have created number of tenants, say IT department, HR department, and this application is something like that, which can be accessed by whole organization, then you can set something like this multi-tenant. Okay. Multi-tenant and personal Microsoft accounts like Skype, Xbox, personal Microsoft accounts only. Okay. Select the platform, whether it is a web platform or a mobile app or a
The
desktop
personal
app.
Microsoft account. Sorry for interruption.
Mhm.
So personal Microsoft account is like it means like different accounts are like
No.
what?
So, have you created any personal account with Microsoft? Individual
Personal
account.
account like Microsoft account. Yeah,
See,
Microsoft account I have created.
this is my individual account with Azure, right? This is my I'm not
Okay.
any organization. This is my individual
Yeah.
account.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
if I do a Microsoft login, so I already have this. I already have this ID. I already have this ID. I can use a 365 login. I can start with I already have this account because I have an Azure account, right? So this account,
Yes.
training account will work in there also, in Outlook also, everywhere also. Everywhere it
It
will work.
means yeah, it means single sign in, just like
Yes. So you have seen that there are different apps like online Excel, online Excel. Okay. So if I like click on free Microsoft 365 online, so Microsoft 365 is providing all these services, so I can definitely click on here and I can log in with my training account because I can access with this account, like all the Microsoft services I can access. Okay, so
So,
that's why they are asking that whether some person can access this from personal Microsoft account. Like Microsoft account means individual Microsoft account. That
individual.
is the option they are
Okay.
giving there.
So individual in organization, inside our organization, suppose uh, different account creating a
No,
different account for the same user. It's possible?
again, see again. This, when I talk about the directories, when about talk about tenants, directories and all, means the users which are added to my organization.
Okay.
Which are added to my organization can access this application. But when I give it as personal Microsoft account, personal means anyone who is having a Microsoft account, either it is outside my organization, can access this application. You got it, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So
So
personal Microsoft account. That's
it means
so
anyone can create a single, like for the
yes.
single
Anyone
account.
can come and access this application which I am creating here.
Okay.
This app registration. Okay. The settings, user flow is there. I just want to show you that user flow. We need to create a tenant there. Let's do this left first, then we'll see the user flow also. Okay.
Yeah.
See, there are enterprise applications also. I showed you those enterprise applications. If I click on new application, see there are different enterprise applications. Enterprise means already provided by some of the providers, some of the organizations like Cisco WebEx, Zoom, Scalar, Slack channel, okay, ServiceNow, Office 365, SharePoint. SharePoint website is very common, very common. Like most of the organization do have a SharePoint website. So in the SharePoint website, they keep their all documentation part. Office 365 Exchange Online. Okay, so this Office Exchange will contain all the services. Office, basically Microsoft Office services. Okay, so these are some third-party applications. So if you are an organization, you don't want to manage all these things. These things means which can be accessed publicly in a public cloud in your organization, which can be accessed by anyone, which is for a common purpose. For a common purpose. Common purpose means like we have a SharePoint website. SharePoint. So when in whichever organization there will be a SharePoint website, this is for common use. Common use. Because it contains documentation and all. Documentation regarding everything in the organization. Everything means IT department will also use it because they have their documentation in SharePoint website. They maintain their documentation with the SharePoint website. What kind of documentation IT team will have? Like if they are creating some project, they are creating some project related information, project related. And in the project related information, they have different things. Like they have a diagram, structural diagram or a design of that project, or system requirement specifications. They have a document related system requirement specification. Means if say solution architect is working on some project, he or she is creating some project, or so they will analyze the requirement and they will create the documentation based on that. Designing documentation, system requirement documentation, so each and everything. So when you go in an organization, I say I joined an organization as a DevOps engineer, so what I'll be needing, so I must be enrolled to some projects, right? So I need to see the structural design of that project, right? Then only I can work in an organization. If I join an organization, someone says me first day, okay, work on this task. How can I work? I cannot work on that task because I don't know that project. What is that project? So I'll ask for the documentation. Okay, I need some documentation. I need to understand your project. What is your project? What kind of project is there? So they will give you some KT sessions for that, key training sessions, basically. Okay. On those sessions, based on those sessions, you will get an understanding. Okay, what are the projects with this organization? What are the projects running with this organization? What are the basic things they are doing, right? That's what. Then you can go ahead and work on that project. So basically what I do when I join some organization, I ask them the documentation. So they give me documentation. So in that documentation, they have different kinds of documentation. Okay, this is the infrastructure which will be needed for this project. So there is a whole infrastructure file. Okay, so in the infrastructure file, they will give one by one. See, this what I'm telling you definitely is not a part of lab. Okay, but this will help you. What I'm telling you, okay, this will help you when you go in some project and all. You will join, maybe you will join as a DevOps engineer, or you will join as a project administrator, IT administrator, or system administrator, or anything. So this will help you when you go to the new organization. Always ask for the documentation. So this documentation will contain some infra document. So in that infra document, whatever the project is there, whatever the project in which you are assigned or which you have joined, okay, take that project name. What is the project name? What it does? Okay, take the documentation. There will be infra files. Read that infra file. Read that infra file. That infra file will contain all the infrastructure related lines here. Okay, create this first, create this, then create this, then create this, then create this. And in this infrastructure file, for all the infrastructure, they must be have created some JSON file or a ARM template to deploy all that infrastructure. Okay, so there must be some link. There must be some link in the document. Say GitHub link is there. Go to that link, see that ARM template, how it is deployed. So everything is defined there in the infra. Like that is called a process document. Okay, process document. Go and see that whenever you join some new organization. Okay, so once you get this infrastructure, then you can imagine in your mind, okay, this is kind of infrastructure. Then there will be other part. Other part means, other part is system code or source code. What is the architecture of that code? Okay, whether it is in a .NET framework, whether it is a Java code, whatever it is, whatever the framework or anything, whatever the things used in that. So if in the infrastructure there are containers, they have used the container service, then definitely this application will be having some artifacts. Those are deployed in the containers. Okay, so artifacts are there, then there are definitely some build tools have been used, Maven and all. So using these things, using documentation only, you will get all these things. Okay, so whenever you join an organization, just ask for the documentation first, so that quickly and easily you can understand their project, what is the project, and then you can go ahead and take the KT sessions. So when you will take the KT session, they will definitely arrange you a KT session. Okay, or you can, if they don't, you can ask them. You can ask them, because some organization, some small organization, what they do, they don't give any trainings. You just join, they will tell you some basic, because I have also done like work in some like small organizations also earlier in my life, and you just go join. They will not brief you anything. You understand by yourself. Okay, and they will just assign you the work. Okay, so if I'll say, okay, I don't know this, so they will say, okay, we have hired you on the basis of this, and you are saying that you don't know this. So that cannot be an answer. Okay, so wherever you join, just ask for the documentation. This will help you a lot. and mostly somewhere they will keep the documentation with the SharePoint website. Okay, somewhere with the this also, like Microsoft OneNote, right? OneNote is also there. They maintain that OneNote with that. So that is all Microsoft 365 service. Microsoft 365. Okay, somewhere SharePoint website. So SharePoint website is provided by, it is an enterprise application. It is provided by some outside vendor. But Microsoft 365, it is organization totally. So if any organization wants to use some Microsoft services like that, so they can use Microsoft 365 services. 365 services contain many things like Outlook is there. Okay, Outlook mail. So a lot of organization use Outlook, right? So those are nothing but the Microsoft 365 services. Outlook is there, OneNote is there. In OneNote also they keep all these things, documentation and all. Okay, they maintain with them. So these are different websites. So this is Microsoft 365 is totally native to Microsoft, and these are external applications, means enterprise applications, which are provided by different enterprises. So you can create your own, or else you can take the service from others. So these are enterprise application. You can create your own application also. You can develop on your own application, and you can come and create here. Okay, so that will be your own application, on-premise application. Basically, they will be your own application. Okay, so
So Abhishek, I have one question here. Like,
Mhm.
suppose we need to create one project
Mhm.
from scratch, and after that we need to create like three environment, like uh, development environment and readiness and production.
Mhm.
So all these we can create inside here only, or like from other places. Like when we create a project, so inside that project we can create a different
see,
yeah.
basically, let's start. I have a root management group, right?
Okay.
Management
Yeah.
group. Now, inside this root management group, there are different management groups. There are different management groups. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So this is HR department, HR management group. Okay. Then this can be some other transport related. Okay, this can be some other department. Accounts and HR are in same only. I think they don't create any other for that.
IT and
IT
account.
IT is there. Then
Hmm.
some sales and marketing, right? Sales and
Yes.
marketing. So these are different management groups which are handled by this root management group.
Yes.
Okay, and inside this root management group, it's not like that you have to create a management group only. You can create a subscription also. Subscription. Say this is a free trial subscription. Okay, free trial subscription. So you can create like this. Now inside the HR department, they have subscriptions. They have subscriptions. They have subscriptions here. Inside the IT. Now inside the IT, there are again management groups. What kind of management groups? Non-production management group. So this is, I am showing you structure what I have in my organization. So that's why I have this idea. Okay, non-production management group and production management group. Now in the non-production management group, there are subscriptions for different projects. Okay, In the non-production
Okay.
management group, there are different subscriptions for different projects. So in this, say there is one project or two projects or three projects, any number of projects. Okay, so everything which is in the non-prod should fall here in the non-production, and non-production can be either it can be a dev subscription, either it can be a test subscription, either it can be a stage subscription, either it can be a QA subscription, or what else? Like there are like many names you can give: dev, test, stage, QA. Test, stage, QA is and one and the same thing, I think. Test, stage, and QA are one and the same thing.
Test
Okay.
and QA. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Same. Both.
Yes. So dev, test, stage, QA. Then there is also one UAT subscription. Okay. So it depends on the organization. Some will create dev, simply stage, and production. Only 3 environments. So in the dev, developers and testers will test. In the stage, testers will test, and your BA will test. Business owner, product
Yes,
owner,
yes,
or a
yes,
business analyst,
product
he or
owner.
she will
Yeah.
test, and then they will approve to move the project to the production. Somewhere I've seen dev, then stage. No, sorry, dev. Then I've seen QA. Then I have seen stage. This is, I'm talking about my last organization. Stage, UAT subscription, then production. And after production, there is one more. What can be
Client,
that?
like client, individual, like
Support is there, right? Support is there.
support.
So if there is anything, any issue with the application in the production,
You're right.
then
Empty team. We have empty team, like maintenance team actually. We have in my organization.
we have a environment called bug fixes. Means whatever bugs are there in the production, so we'll again take that application in the bug fixes. We are making the changes in the bug fixing environment, and then again we'll deploy that thing in the production. Okay, so these environments we have in that organization, these much environments, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 environments.
Bug
So
fixes
it
also
depends
for
on the
like
organization. Okay,
Mhm.
it depends on the organization, it depends on the team, it depends on the scrum master or anyone who wants to create all these things, all these environments. So in the non-prod, all these will come: dev, QA, stage, UAT. And in the production, only the production environment and nothing else. Only production subscription for different projects. Okay, only production.
Yeah.
So it can be a project 1 production subscription. And when you name these subscriptions, definitely with the name there is a production involved. With the name, production is involved. So I can give any name. Okay, like if any project is there, like with the my name only. Okay, so I'll give that, and I'll write production over there in the subscription, so that someone knows, okay, this is a production subscription. In the dev subscription, there is a dev mentioned. In the stage subscription, there is stage mentioned. In the QA, there is a QA mentioned. So this is the kind of hierarchy you can create. from the root, starting from the root management group, then different management groups. Okay, then inside those management group, you have subscriptions. Like for in the IT, you can have non-prod management group, in the production management group. Inside non-prod, all the non-production environments for every project, all the non-production environments. In the production, all the production environment for every project. So in this way, you can separate non-production and production. In this way, you can separate non-production and production.
Mhm.
So say in the production, we deploy the application. We as a DevOps team deploy application, right? So we do not give access to anyone for this production. We do not give. Even the dev team or a QA team or a test team, we don't give any permission to the production. Production management group is just we are handling. Everyone is having a reader role there. Reader role. Apart from us. Okay. So everyone is having a reader role. They can go, they can see the they can see the pipelines. Okay. Pipelines. And also they can push the code to the production. Yes, development team will push the code to the production, but definitely there are some manual intervention. What manual intervention? That's they have to give some approvers. So when you push the code, what you do? When you push the code, what you do? You create a pull
pull
request.
request. Right.
You create a pull request. And that pull request should be reviewed by some reviewer. Who will be the reviewer? Basically the solution
manager.
architect or your scrum master. He will be the reviewer. Okay, because you are pushing the code to the production. That is a big thing. Okay. So you should need a reviewer. And after that also, after scrum master or anyone, then there must be some person from the DevOps team also who will review. Then you can push the code to the production, and then the deployment will occur. Okay. So these are the kind of things. This is how you set the subscription. This is how you set all the management groups. So that's what the lab here. You create the management group. Okay.
So we required for that we required one management group for IT, and inside that IT management group, we can create a different environment.
You can again create two
project.
management groups. You can again create two management groups, non-production and production. See, this is the best practice, I'll say. This is the best practice. So you can create directly, you can create subscriptions. So inside IT, you can create directly subscription, like dev subscription, then production subscription, stage subscription. But that is okay in the case if you have 2-3 projects. That is okay in the case if you have 2 or 3 projects. But in case there are some 15 projects, 20 projects running, then how will you maintain those subscriptions? It will be very difficult. So for billing, why we do this? Why we do this? This we use for billing purpose. Billing purpose. So that billing should be clear. So everyone should know that, okay, this charge is for non-production. This charge is for production. Okay, that can be separated. So mostly this thing is done only for billing purposes only. Different management groups, different subscriptions. Okay, you can create in one also. You can create, don't create non-production or production management group, just create subscriptions inside IT. But that will do nothing but just create the chaos if you have number of projects there. Okay, so for maintaining all those projects, definitely you need this kind of architecture to be created.
So if we have more than one project, so inside non-production we can create a different like a different project.
Right.
Different project inside project we create a different environment.
Yes, you can do that.
Yeah.
That is just nothing but the
Mhm.
hierarchical structure na you are creating.
Yes,
You can create,
yes, yes.
no worries.
Mhm. Any label, any number of label we can create a group.
Yes, yes, any number of level you can create.
Mhm.
Mostly this kind of structure what I showed you as of now, this is there in the organization, some big organization. Okay, this kind of structure is there. So if I tell you with some big organization, you will be having a number of subscriptions. You will be having a number of subscription with my organization only, all over worldwide, I'll tell you, we have total of 1800 subscriptions in Azure. 1800 subscriptions in Azure. So these are kind of these many subscriptions we have with us. I don't know what are the use of other subscriptions, but what are the subscriptions belong to my area, like 7 to 8 subscriptions. I know those subscriptions because they belong to some 7 to 8 projects, and I know those subscriptions. I don't know all those 1800 because some team may be there in US, some team may be in Europe, some team may be somewhere in other continent or other country in Australia. So we have different management groups also accordingly, also like management groups and subscriptions. So if subscription is having the name as AU, then it is Australia. Then subscription is having a code inside the naming convention as US, then it is US. Then EU is there, then Europe. IN is there, then India. Okay. Then there are
CA Canada.
subscriptions. Pardon?
CA Canada.
Yes, definitely. We have this. So we have different. So when you create a name, so I'm creating this Abhishek-prod. Maybe some of this is the project name. This is a production environment. Okay. Before that, so this is for US. So it's like that. This is the naming convention. So you have to create a policy for the naming convention also. Okay. Until and unless you follow this naming convention, you cannot create the service. So when we create a storage account in our organization, storage account, then there is a policy involved that the storage account name should be between 3 to 24 characters. Not more than 24 also. 3 to 24 characters. Okay, so inside 24 characters you can name. And then what you have to do? You have to mention, first you have to mention subscription, then hyphen, then you have to mention the resource group, then hyphen. No, before subscription also you have to mention the management group also. Management group, then subscription, then hyphen, then resource group. Then you can take the name of your resource, say storage account. So storage account, okay, storage account. Any name you can take. I've taken just STG ACC, okay, the storage account, and then you should give the number within that resource group, which number of storage account is that. So it may be, so there are thousands in number, so we have to give like this 0001, because if I give only 01, then it will end up to into 10 numbers only, right? So there are many storage accounts, so we have to give number like this 001, because there are hundreds of storage accounts somewhere in some subscription. So this kind of naming convention you need to follow when you create the resources, and this will also be defined. I was talking about documentation in SharePoint or Outlook or OneNote, right? So this will be defined there in the documentation part. Naming convention, basically. Naming convention. Okay. So you have to use that naming convention. There must be some file for the naming convention. Otherwise, you go and create a storage account. You don't follow the naming convention, it will give you an error while creating the storage account. follow the naming convention. Follow the naming convention according to the policy. It will mention the policy in the error. Policy number some 03A001. This is the policy. According to this policy, follow this naming convention. So you go to the policy document in the SharePoint, just look at that policy document, what is the naming convention, and just accordingly create the service using that naming convention. Okay, so this is all about management group, root management group, how you manage all these things, what are the documents you can get, and all those things. Accordingly, you can create that with the naming convention and all. Okay, this is just for an idea. No one will tell you all these things because that is not in the syllabus of Azure what we are taking. There are just 12 labs, so anyone can go and teach you those 12 labs. That's it. These are just best practices and all which I'm telling you here. Okay, so no worries if we take an extra class for that, but yeah, this should sound like everyone should tell all these things, because then you can get an idea when you go to this. There's a question arises. How many environments are there in your organization or your project? How many environments? So if I have dev, QA, stage, UAT, product, bug fixes, all those things, right? So this is a general I have given you. These many, someone can have these many. Outside this, there is no other I can remember. So from these only you will have in your organization: dev, QA, stage, UAT, production, bug fixes. That's it. So if someone can ask generally what all environments you can have, then you can take the name of all these. You can take the name of all these: dev, QA, stage, UAT, production, bug fixes. And if anyone asks the question, okay, how many you have in your project, then definitely these three: dev, stage, and production. That's it. Okay, so that is all about that. Tomorrow we'll complete this lab number 2A for creating management group and subscription and RBAC roles. Okay.
Since you're telling about this fraud and best practices, just maybe want to share one more input here that can help all of us.
Sure, definitely. Yeah, your voice is little low. If you can increase that volume.
Actually, I'm just started commuting. That's why.
Mhm.
Now it's better. Let me try to speak up a bit louder and see if that works. Right. So nowadays, there are like blue-green deployment.
I know that. I will tell you that in DevOps. Yeah, you can go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
So that prod stage environment come into the picture as well. Otherwise, yeah, these are the more than what we could have in environment.
Right. Blue-green deployment. Yeah. Mostly I will tell you that when we will be deploying Docker and Kubernetes. So
Yes.
there will be seeing all those things, like there are deployment strategies there. Okay, in the Kubernetes section. Okay, so like RC deployment is there, RS deployment is there. Okay, all those things. Okay, so there I'll tell you that, because these are all strategies, deployment strategies, blue-green deployment, all these things. Okay, so there are number of strategies there in the Kubernetes section in DevOps. So and we'll be starting mostly DevOps by the mid of the next week. Okay, so there I'll tell you all those things once we reach out to Docker and Kubernetes and containerization section in Docker. In DevOps. Okay.
Just wanted to highlight that there are like
Definitely. I'll tell you. I'll tell you each and everything regarding these like projects and all, and DevOps and all. Okay. So all these things, because like I've been there in 5 to 6 organizations till now and seen like many kind of things. Like I told you, I've seen this structure also for environment. I've seen this one also. So that's why. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So tomorrow we'll be completing this lab. It will take 20 to 30 minutes, and then there is one more lab will be there, 2B. So 2A and 2B we'll be completing both the labs for this subscriptions, RBAC, and regarding identity, we'll be completing the labs tomorrow. Okay, so I have explained you all these things today because tomorrow we will simply come and do the lab only. Okay, lab 2A and lab 2B. Okay, these will be the two labs for subscriptions, for managing subscriptions and identities. Okay, thank you all. So those
Hello, sir.
yeah.
Sir, so this is Imran. So I wanted to ask, like, how should I
Yeah,
approach
you
to
can
this
wait,
program?
Imran, you can wait. There are some new people also, so they will be also
Okay.
waiting as of now. You can just wait. Rest, who are the regular ones, they can drop off. Okay.
Okay. Okay.